Yes, sir. It's again the general question, but I'm a bit confused with this. When should I stop the reviewing?
When you are submitting, then you should stop.
Okay.
Till
So,
the time of submission, we always keep on ending the things. Actually, there comes a thing that you have to stop after this date. I won't take, because every single day you will find something new and new.
yeah, something new. Yeah.
Yeah, but that new and new will be very, very, very less. It's not like a big thing you will find. You will find,
Yeah.
like it happened with me. When I was about to submit, I found a questionnaire and I found, my God, I should have used this questionnaire for my study. I just wasted my time. But it always happens. It always happens. You need to stop somewhere. So try to include the last up to the last, like your before PhD, we have a pre-submission. So up to the pre-submission, whatever you can include, you can include. After that, you should bluntly stop, because else there's no way. It keeps on adding new things.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Praveen, back to you. Any questions?
Yeah. Yes, sir. My question is just whatever you told, I am summarizing and you tell where is the gap now. You told about first read the literature, then see the variables, dependent, independent, then think about how to measure them, then make the objective, then make the model, then make the hypothesis.
Wait. Not the objective. Objective will come last. From the case, make the hypothesis. Variable, hypothesis.
Measurement will come, variable, measurement then.
Measurement and their relation.
Okay.
This will make hypothesis.
Okay.
Hypothesis, all of the hypotheses, they culminate into the model.
Okay.
From the model comes need for the study.
From model comes
missing links, need for the study.
Okay.
And the same missing links will become your objective.
Okay, and now one part is how to write. In writing, you told, okay, whatever the variables you found, make the sections in the model. Okay, like Naresh sir, you told 5 dependent, independent are there, so we can make 5 sections, and in that those sections, we section by section we have to write and their relation also, and start from the latest one paper 2018, then comes where it starts.
And only the main representative studies, landmark studies, milestones.
Sir, but it will be happening most of the time that someone is missing some relevant and someone else is missing another relevant. So it's okay?
It's okay. It's okay. Perfectly okay. Generally, I will give you certain keywords. You can search it on Google. A very good paper is there in the journal Vikalpa. So write the keywords Vikalpa. Let me check also on Google. I'm writing on the Google keywords like Vikalpa, telecommunication, and I think name is Momaya, M-O-M-A-Y-A. Let me check for the authors also. Yeah, managing customer perceived service quality. Seth and Momaya. I think she is Anita Seth. Seth and this Vikalpa, telecommunication, Seth, Momaya. You will find the paper is there, managing the customer perceived service quality in telecommunication. It's a very good paper. What they have written, the way they started, they have first written the telecommunication whole as a whole. So telecommunication, review of literature about telecommunication, which includes the fixed line, landline, mobile phones. Second, they come to the service quality in telecommunication. Third step, they come with the service quality in telecommunication in the mobile phone. So can you see a funnel approach? First, they have taken the entire telecommunication. In the entire telecommunication, service quality. Now quality, they said qualities of technical quality, functional quality, service quality. Now they started only with the service quality. In the service quality in the telecommunication. And then they said, okay, what is our understanding? A particular construct is defined this way, sort of operational definition that is defined in this way. They have given operational definition and then they started their own. It's a very good paper. You should read how to write the review of literature in paper. Okay. So basically it comes with a broad, then it comes to the second part, little bit narrow in your area. Then exactly, see, in your topic there are always two things. One are the variable and second is the sector. Like teleservices or service quality communication in telecommunication. Can you see the two things? Service quality is the variable, telecommunication is the sector. So first you can start with all, then in that particular area. One question asked by the people that what if, can I refer to certain studies which are not directly related to my field? I am working in education. Can I refer studies of banking sector? So here my take is that, see, variables are variables. Variables are the same thing. So you can take that. Provided like it, if it is service sector, you can take that. That is perfectly okay. Hypothesis never means you say this is a fact. You say this is most likely to happen and that's what you are checking. Maybe true, may not be true. So you can always refer to the other fields also while writing your review of literature. So these are the 5 things. Variable, from the variables comes a relation, that is hypothesis. Collection of hypothesis will be model. From the model, need for the study. The same need for the study will become your objective. So see, when somebody says that please help me in writing the objective, it means something saying like help me in building the 4th floor of the building when there is no ground floor and the 1st floor.
Sir, in model, we have to apply common sense or something we have to see it is missing. Okay, I found it is missing somewhere. Like that something I found, okay, culture is missing in this model. I feel that inside. So I need base for that for new years or need for study, or I should find the link, means anyone said something about it, which is the right way.
Common sense is not the correct word. Domain knowledge is the correct word. Domain knowledge, you are working in that area, people know that these are the things, these are missing. Domain knowledge is required for finding out the missing links.
Literature review, on basis of literature review, it's my perception, I mean to say. I don't have anything to say it is said somewhere. I only think that means it should be required. It
Yes.
is okay?
Yes, yes, yes. Your guide will...
So taking the word कि आपका domain expertise है, can we always refer that due to my domain expertise, I intend to say this. Say I have a work ex of 20 years in telecom, and if I want to make some statement in telecom, can I say out of my experience or my observation of over 20 years in this sector, I intend to write this statement?
Ashish will reply it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, there is a paper in IIM Bangalore, very recent paper. They had worked on micro enterprises of Bangladesh. So they had used a quantitative research and to build a quantitative model, a conceptual model for the research. They are going back to literature and they are finding some context-related things which are not available in the literature. So they had justified the research design in a way that it is a mixed method approach, and we had gone through 10 it was 15 interview or 10 interview, and whatever link, whatever variables they were not finding in the literature, they had established it based on the response of this particular, the respondent code number A, he had said this and B had said the same thing, and hence we are putting it, and ultimately they prepared the model and collected the data, and they had used PLS, and very it was very good approach. I learned that it's a good way to, for example, Praveen sir can have interaction with the 5 or 7 colleagues and senior colleagues, and finally,
yes,
fine.
I need to second it out with some of my colleagues. That what I want to say. I mean, I need some 4-5 people of my domain. I need to put it like this. I interviewed them and then I had to say something like this.
Yes. Let me put it in different words, Ritu. The first thing is, have you noted in the research, we never write the word I, me.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, it is observed, it is identified.
Right? Second,
yeah,
Second, whatever the study we do, we generally take a thing and then try to, like we conduct a survey method or we conduct an experiment, assuming that this is likely to happen. Okay, this is a different scenario. Just let's get out of these studies. I wish to just go and explore the nature and the life. So there, no numerical things will come, quantitative, it will be more of the qualitative things. So I will just live with those people, I will observe certain things. There are 5-6 aspects of the qualitative study, like ethnographics, etc. So one thing is, you write something, if you are a domain expert in that area, if you are working for the 20 years, write certain papers. There, you can very well write, I have observed this, I saw this, I concluded this. It's perfectly okay. The length is only 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, and they are also published in the Scopus journals, listed journals. They also get published. No sample size is required. A sample of 50 is considered terrific. Their sample size is 8, 10, 15, and you write papers on that. After that, like when you do qualitative study, you always require a base. Whether you are on paper, somebody else's paper, or expert opinion. Now, it can be misused, like if you want to say anything, so simply say, I have consulted expert and they told me this. That is okay. But remember, the people who will evaluate are also the experts. They will catch it. Okay?
Right.
So most of the people, what they do, in the end, they always have an open-ended question, some sort of suggestion, something. And what they do, what most of the people do, at the last, whatever they wish to conclude, they will put their words in those anonymous mouth. They will say, I had an open-ended question, lot many people answered this, and then whatever they wish to write, they will write those things. But remember, that's why there is an expert or editor or reviewer or external examiner. These are the expert of these things. They have gone through those things which we are talking about. They will catch it. So
they can always ask. They can always ask about the respondents' answers from us, like how you interviewed them. Some recorded sheets. Can they ask?
100%.
Yes, record. They will ask for recording.
Yeah. Okay.
One of my friend had sent a paper in Vikalpa, and after 2-3 rounds, the editor and the reviewer, the referee, they said that please send us the questionnaire, all of your questionnaire. We used to check them.
Okay, sir.
Now,
it should be there, sir. It should be there.
Yes.
Sir, my query is that while writing this literature review, I read one paper and they measured, for example, service quality of telecommunication nowadays after having Geo in the market. So and after reading that paper, what should I write? Means because abstract is clearly saying, okay, this is these authors are talking about this. This should I write, or I should read complete paper, then find something else in that.
Okay.
And it should not be same language. People say that you have to rephrase it or write in different means they are measuring service quality. It means they are measuring service quality. So what should I do? They want to see the service quality. Means just my query, sir.
Correct. That's why different universities allow 15% to 20% of the plagiarism. Because as you pointed out, service quality will be service quality. How can you change its name? John Anderson will be John Anderson. You can't write that as Michael Anderson. You can't write that. Name will be same. The topic will be same. Keywords are the same. That's why 15% plagiarism is allowed. You can't skip that. Now coming to the second part. Praveen, I just want you to remember, review of literature is not about the persons, it's about the variables. In one line, I can conclude only this. Most of the time, our orientation is review of literature means studies, name of the persons. Sharma 2010, done this study, Gupta 2010, this study. We are more concerned with that. I am saying people are not important. If there are more than 5 people endorsing a relationship, more than enough. Even if you write 50, variables are still the 2. So point is, variables are more important than the persons. 5-7 people, more than enough. Not more than that is required. So again, what you write, see, if you go on, like, remember the Naresh Malhotra's, that PDF file I have shown you. Perceived service quality leads to trust. In bracket, I will write John 2015, Days, Praveen 2017, Ashish 2018, Bharat 2019, Ramni 2020. So if there are 50 people, variables are still 2. Why I require so many people? It's not the people, it's the variables are important. And that's why we got so many choice of words. You write effect, influence, lead to. So many words are there in English. So that's why you have to paraphrase it. You can't use exactly the same. You have to change it.
Sir, herein I would like to
Sir,
say if there are...
sorry, in the sequence
No,
this
Praveen
question
sir, you
was,
continue.
yes, in the sequence this question was, for example, this hypothetical, I said that this paper is there that after coming geo in market, service quality rate, this is, authors are talking about this paper. So now, because variable, if we see new player is coming in the market, so quality deteriorates. It means that further new player will come, further quality will deteriorates. It's my variable. It is okay, sir? Means they are talking about this, and I am talking about that. They are talking in this paper that because new player is there, quality deteriorates due to n number of reasons.
Then what are the variables here?
Sir, variable is new player, because new player came in, the quality is deteriorating. So player increased, they are justifying it in that paper that new player joined in. That's why their sharing of profit is deteriorating, and that is why profit margin is going down, ARPU is going down. That is why quality deteriorates.
Okay.
So what all variables how to write all this?
That makes sense.
How to write?
That makes sense, but new player is generally not a common word in marketing. I think it's competition or competitor. With a competitor, there is an effect on the service quality, whether it is improves or decreases. Competitor is a better word than new player, but yes, you can do that, 100%.
So when we are defining...
They said about this that they are measuring the quality. I am writing that after reading this paper, I found that, means I'm not writing I found that in study found that due to competition, quality deteriorates. Means their paper was on something else, measuring the service quality.
You should not change.
And it's my interest.
You should not change that much. Sense should be same. Words
so sense is coming same if we conclude, because they are already saying in conclusion, yes, quality deteriorates due to competition, and I am saying due to competition increases, so quality deteriorates.
If the sense is same, then you can change the words till the sense is same. Then you can go ahead with it. No problem.
Okay.
Sir, when we are writing review, we have say 6 papers. 2 of the papers are mentioning that there is a positive relationship among 2 variables. And there are 2 papers which are saying that these 2 variables are negatively related.
Correct.
Now, while writing a literature review, can I do it like this, that I want to say then A and B are positively related? 1, A and B are positively related. 2. However, 3, 4, 5 authors has to say that they are negatively related.
Correct.
On the basis of these contradictory studies, my null hypothesis says this.
Yes.
Can I do it, or I'll have to go unidirectionally, like I'll have to pick 5 papers which have the same positive correlation mentioning there?
Okay. You are totally free. When you got contradictory review, this is the perfect case for using the null hypothesis. You say, I don't take any side, I will go with the null hypothesis. Because remember, statistical tool technique is not affected by whatever way you will start. That will never ever do. Okay, let me give a different example from law, from legal sides.
Okay, sir.
And I will relate it with the hypothesis testing. There is a murder and police arrest Mr. X. And Mr. X is taken to the court. Now look for, there are the 3-4 parties here. Mr. X is one party, police is second party, judge is third party. Okay, and there can be actual murderer, which is Mr. Y. This is the fourth party. Now police works on the hypothesis Mr. X is guilty, he is the murderer. This is the hypothesis of police. X says I am not guilty. Judge, it's very important. What will be the hypothesis of the judge? Judge will say not guilty till proven. I hope you remember that, Ritu. In law, we always take
Right, sir.
guilty till proven. So judge
Ji,
will
sir.
work on the null hypothesis. Now, in that case, just change these people in the come to the statistics word. There is a data. Data is sort of Mr. X. Police is the researcher, and judge is the t-test or ANOVA.
Right, sir.
Researcher says that there is a girls got significantly more marks than boys. This the researcher says. Then take the data to the judge, that is the t-test. T-test will always work on null hypothesis, no significant difference or no relation. Now, if the relation is there, from the data it is apparent, then judge will say, okay, my hypothesis is rejected and this is the. Otherwise, by default, judge will say my null hypothesis is no relation and we will continue with that. So point here is, it's a perfect case of taking, if there is a conflicting review, you can very well take the null hypothesis, or you are more convinced by one school of thought. There are majority of the people, you say 5 people have said there is a positive relation, 2 said there is a negative, and you feel actually it should be negative. You are free to write that negative also. My point is, just 1 minute, Praveen. My point is, stats is so robust. Whatever way you will speak up, eventually the truth will come out. Whatever way, it means it's not the choice of words will have any effect. I can give guarantee to that. When I was a student, I had all the time confusion. If I write hypothesis this way, what will happen? If I write that way, what will happen? Over the 20 years, I have learned whatever way you will write, answer will be 100% same. It won't change. So absolutely no problem. Whatever way you can go ahead. Parveen, now you can ask.
Yeah, sir. While reading the paper, 3 things come in picture. One is title, one is abstract, one is their finding, and sometimes finding is also not clear. So, what should we concentrate while writing? Their title says something else, fancy, and abstract says they are going to test this, and justification said we found this and it is this. So, while making a sense, what should be written?
Okay.
More focus should be on justification, on abstract, on title.
Okay, okay. Praveen, it's something like Praveen, you go to Mr. Raja or Ashish for asking how to make your wife happy. And Mr. Raja gave their own opinion and lot of incidences. This happened in my life, then this happened, and Ashish also shared a number of experiences that this happened, this happened. Now, when you are coming back, what you will recall? Will you recall the incidences given by Mr. Raja or the lessons given by Mr. Raja? I think it's the lessons are more important, not the incident.
But the paper is same. Here are 2 different persons, so two different perceptions. Here paper is same, author is same, title is there, abstract is there, and justification is also there. So
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. See, author is important because ultimately in the review you have to name, you have to cite his or her name also, right? The most important thing is the variable, what a person worked on. So maybe a person has written 500 pages thesis. To us, how many variables are common in my study and in his study? Okay. And what are the relation which he or she cited that this is a positive relation, negative? I will write his or her name. So again, coming back to your question, should we just go through abstract or should we read the complete thesis? You should first, when you are just starting, first job is simply you just write the name of the variables. So there abstract can do. Abstract can help. If you find in the abstract that all the names should be there generally, so abstract will be helpful in the variable hunt. Just get the name of the variable, right? But later on, when you spend more time with that, variables are settled. Now the second thing comes, how to measure it. For that, you have to read a paper. Now again in the paper, there are the 4 or 5 sections. I tell you, introduction. This is one part. Review of literature is second. Research methodology is the third. Discussion and interpretation. Data analysis, interpretation. I always suggest the first thing you should read is the research methodology. Research methodology is the basic what that person's contribution is there or his decisions are there. See, introduction contains only the definition by some given authority. Kotler defined this as this. Other people defined organization climate as this. Review of literature is again from the previous literature what the people have done it. Research methodology means this person's decisions, what he have decided, how he has taken population, on what basis he selected the sample, on what basis he asked the question, what sort of scale he has taken, what difficulty he faced, what are the limitations. You understand a paper only when you completely understand the research methodology of a given paper. So that should be the first thing to refer, research methodology. Now coming back to your point, author's name is important, variables are most important, but a complete paper will tell you how to measure a variable. That is again one very important point, particularly in your case, how to measure innovativeness. So again, there are some standard scales, people use methodology, develop some methodology. So complete paper will helpful, abstract won't be helpful. But while writing, it's okay. First you go through the abstract and then you go through the complete paper. Again, I am just sensitizing you. While reading a paper, it may be only 10% of the paper is relevant to you. 90% is working on the other variables. No problem. You will refer to only those 10% of the cases. That's it.
So in that paper, after reading it, I can write, okay, they were talking about this service quality in this paper, and about after that, nothing more is required. And they said that competition gives deteriorates the quality. Means only that one line will be okay. Means it's conclusion of whole paper actually.
Yes.
So I can take something from abstract, something from justification,
Yes.
and their name and year.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
There is a level 0 question.
Yes, please.
What do we understand by a conceptual paper? Right?
Okay.
What is a conceptual paper in Spirit?
Okay. Conceptual paper means when there is number one, no data. You simply define a concept, why it is happening. See, Ritu, recall some, if I have a time machine, I take you back to the cave people. The first person who said there is a stress, I'm in stress. The other person must have asked, okay, what is stress? So whenever you define any particular thing, so first how to make other people aware that this is something. What are the symptoms? What are the things? How to know that, okay, this thing is going to happen? Like for many people, we refer a term called midlife crisis.
Right.
Now, let's say Ashish has never heard of midlife crisis. So how to make him sensitize? See, there is something like midlife crisis. At this particular age, this sort of symptoms are there. You will feel like this will happen. This is a midlife crisis. So conceptual paper is just an introduction to that particular theme or subject. There is no data. There is no data. There is no hypothesis testing, no techniques, etc. You simply define a thing.
So, as in my case, I've given you those three things that I want to study in my paper. Now, if I'm trying to write a conceptual paper on those three things, I'll be defining those three things and trying to establish, quote some kind of studies wherein they have established some kind of relationship between these three factors. Would that be a conceptual paper?
No.
For me.
No, that's not a conceptual paper. Actually, papers are of many types. This is a review paper.
Sir.
This is a review paper. If you click on the emeraldinsight.com and search for any paper.
Right, sir.
On the right hand side.
Right, sir. Here is the question. Sir, this is a review paper. Now, what is a conceptual paper? In conceptual paper, we are trying to define or clarify the concepts that we want to study.
Yes.
From where are we getting those definitions? And from where are we defining those concepts?
So generally the conceptual papers are written by the people who are expert in that area.
Okay.
For example, I remember around 2002 or 2003, Kumar Mangalam Birla said a statement that these days identifying talent is a very big problem and retaining talent is a very big challenge to the Indian companies. Just one statement given by Aditya Birla that identifying who's the talent in my employees and retaining the talent. And I tell you, in 2004 and 5, at least 50 people registered on the PhD on the topic of talent management. So
right,
it means Aditya Birla don't require any review of literature or Kumar Mangalam Birla. When they speak of something, they themselves are the review of literature. They have spent their life in the industry. So what they said, that is a conceptual point. Before that, remember what the people were saying, best employee. Nobody was coining the term talent. Now these days, there are some sort of, all the MNCs, they say these are the best of the people. Even at the time of retrenchment, these are the people who will be the last to go.
Right.
These are the people we will always retain, whatever may happen. So it means this is a new point, that is talent. That is a conceptual part. Now second comes the other part of that.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in your reply, my question is that just after domain knowledge of 15-20 years, everyone can say, for example, Kotler sir, no need to explain it that trust is related to intention. It is commonly, if you ask 5-10 people, and they will simply say, yes, it is there. Or if to retain the talent, it's difficult task. Ask anyone in industry, they will say yes. So what is the point of research in this? Only we have to prove to the society, yes, what we are saying it is correct, or something else.
Now you have come to a very, very good question. Isn't it the common sense sort of things? After 15 years, everybody will say this will happen. Okay. But the point is, can I show it with the quantified data also? If you say there is a good relation, so correlation must be positive. Praveen, if I'll apply,
Yes, sir.
if I'll measure that into the data,
Yes,
there
sir.
must be a high correlation. Then I will say, okay, tell me if this is the scenario, what is going to happen? Start with the little predictions.
Yes, sir.
Prediction. Now there things go wrong. Why things go wrong? When there are more than one variable, there is something called multicollinearity. The beautiful thing is independent variable has an influence on the dependent variable. Like age has an effect on the height. You agree, Praveen?
Yes, sir.
With the age, we can see there is an effect on the height. But genetics also, there is an effect on the height.
Yes, sir.
So, but when you take their combined, it will not be effect of age plus effect of height. It will be less than that. Reason being, the genetics get actuated only a particular age.
Yes, sir.
You remember that? All of you,
Yes, sir.
right from the start of your life, right from the birth, you had those sort of genes in you. But at the age of 12, 13, 14, 15, there were some particular hormonal change. And remember, you have not taken any tablets or any injection for that. Automatically, our age comes, the hormonal change was there and height started increases, voice started to change. It means the independent variables themselves are related. So now you have come to the very correct question that when the things are so common sense based that leader has an effect on the performance. But my point is, Praveen, one is a leader like Guru Gobind Singh Ji who said "Sawa lakh se ek ladaun," and one is a leader in your company or your department. Is there same effect?
No, sir.
Right? Just like when we talk of these terrorists convincing somebody that you commit suicide, you become a human bomb, and that is actually good for you. This is a very, very great example of leadership, though in the negative sense. But if you simply look at the leadership, convincing somebody that you should die because you will get benefited out of that. I don't know what benefit, but this is a sort of leadership, again extreme leadership, convincing that. The point here is how to quantify them. This is the same scenario, Praveen. In sciences, we stop. We say, so see, take one sodium and add chlorine. You will always, in all circumstances, there will be NaCl, common salt will become. But when it comes to human beings, the same age and the same height, you look in the family, in your family, when you were 11 years old, your siblings were 11 years old, all of them were not of the same height. It means the relationship is there, but it is not that certain as that of the chemical compounds or the physical properties. So that's why we are concerned. We search it again and again, again and again. Can we really quantify? And if quantify, a best quantify is when you can predict. You give me the prediction that what will be happen in the future. If this is the scenario, this is going to happen. If that comes full 100%, research stops for that area. you will say it is 100% predictable, no more research required. But with the human beings, something is always left out. So that's why I say that, entire research I conclude in 3-4 words. One is a variable. Everything is about the variable. Second, the moment there is more than one variable, a beautiful concept starts, multicollinearity. Entire, maybe half of the statistics is only about the multicollinearity, multiple regression, etc. That's a problem. And third thing is residual. Whatever is left out, we do research in that, that is the residual. These three are the most important words in the research. Variable, multicollinearity, and the residual, whatever is left out. Yeah, Ashish.
Sir, when we talk about this multicollinearity, it is just my gut feeling that when we use 5-point Likert scale and instead of 5-point to 7-point, the chances of multicollinearity decreases, or is it just nonsense?
Well, I have not seen any such case. See, multicollinearity simply says relation between the independent variable. Independent variables, technically, they should not be related. What you are talking about 5-point, 7-point, that is the way to measure it. That's a separate thing.
Yes. So the way to measure does have any impact of the generation of multicollinearity. For example, if you are taking 5-point Likert scale, then from center you have two step to deviate. And the moment you have 7 steps, so your sample have ample space to make the deviation, and then the similarity goes down. It was just
Okay, I got your point. Actually, this
yes.
particular puzzle was solved by Carl Pearson long back. The point is, number of people they ask, can we relate a 5-point scale with another variable measured on the 7-point scale? My question is, can we really find a relation between the age and the height? Age is in year, height is in centimeter.
Yes.
Aren't two different things? Something is in years, that is time. Something is in distance. Time and distance, how can make a relation to that? So Carl Pearson said, or what methodology we adopt, we convert them into the standardized score, which ranges from -3 to 3. Okay, time is up. So which ranges from -3 to 3. So it means, Ashish, when you work on the 5-point scale or 7-point scale, they are converted into the standardized score first. From -3 to 3, their mean is 0, standard deviation is 1. So don't worry about that. That is absolutely no issue.
So,
Okay,
sir, what you said in this Kumar Mangalam Birla's statement, that with time, statement may get changed, means to retain the talent may change in future, that we are going to find, or other effects are also there that we are going to find in research.
Yes.
Means statements may totally go wrong in future, or other things also play the role in this.
Yes, they may come. I said this statement in context of a conceptual paper.